Hello, my name is Margaret Bond. I'm also known as the Pooch Granny, and thought I wanted to talk to y'all about fibromyalgia and chronic illnesses today. Dealing with chronic illness is not easy. Anyway, it's always frustrated me just how an outing a day can throw you out of whack for weeks. Yep, after you overdo it, it can mean any kind of activity at all. I can always tell because my body just like doesn't your body scream at you in excruciating pain. Sometimes your pain level is low, sometimes it's high. Sometimes you have energy, sometimes you don't. Sometimes it's just non existent. Some days you have to force yourself just to get out of bed, just to go to the bathroom. If you don't rest enough, kind of like rebooting your body, after a while your patience starts to wear thin. I'm sure it's not easy to live with your family. It's hard for others to understand when you're going through it and they're not. It's kind of like walking in someone's shoes. Sometimes you become withdrawn. You don't want to talk to anybody. You don't even want to leave your house. The little things that you could normally do, you just can't do anymore. You start to worry more than usual over what the future holds, even though you don't, you shouldn't. God has always been there for me. I know the hardest part of overdoing it is it's just you just don't know you've done it until it's way too late. You just overdo it and just now it's like, okay, I overdid it, too late now, start over, time to reboot again. Your mind and your body end up paying the price. The exhaustion comes in waves and can stay with you for a while, of which you then sometimes have no sense of time. It's like days go by. Sometimes you forget what day of the week it is. There's a level of fatigue you can't explain to your loved ones because unless they've been there themselves, they just don't get it. It feels debilitating to be that tired. Your body feels sick and miserable. Sometimes your skin feels creepy and you don't know what it is. You know when people are sick and they say they feel like they've been hit by a truck, well, a lot of times that's what it feels like. If you've ever had the flu, everybody's body's different. They deal with things different. The medications you try are different for everybody. Anyway, when you've overdone it and it hits you, that's what it feels like. A truck hits you. You have night after night of struggling to fall asleep because your mind refuses to shut off. You wake up feeling drugged when you take something to help you finally sleep. Some mornings you can barely open your eyes because they feel so heavy, you just don't go back to sleep. Then when you do wake up, it's like, great, more than half the day is gone. Days when you wake up like that, you wake up feeling discouraged and weak because you don't know that that's a telltale sign of what the day ahead is going to hold for you. You can drink 2 or 3 cups of coffee with chronic fatigue and still feel tired. That's been me lately. I can drink coffee and it doesn't seem to even help. You still feel tired and you just drop off to sleep for no reason in the middle of the day. But then again, that's that vicious cycle of not being able to sleep at night too. Besides the fatigue, the physical symptoms return. That can mean aches and pains. You can sit and then you can barely get out of your chair. You get brain fog. You can't remember simple things. It's hard to put it mildly. The days after you overdo it, well, it just really sucks. That's all I can say. Sometimes the only way in managing a chronic illness like fibromyalgia or chronic pain or chronic fatigue syndrome after you overdo it is you just survive it. You just go on to the next day and hope the next day is better. When learning to cope with the bad days, well, you really don't want to learn to cope with it. It'd be great if you could have your active life back, enjoy more life with your husband, your family, your friends. I also have had to learn to cope with the bad days and how to do it well. I don't know if that's a word for that, but better. I don't even know what that means anymore. Anyway, here's a few questions I have for others. I've learned from others with chronic illness, and by doing, I learned to cope after overdoing it. You just take time to recover. You just have to take that time, whether people understand or not. You just have to take it. I wish I could say just don't overdo it in the first place, but that's a lot easier said than done. Just try your best to do the following. If it doesn't have to be done right away, let it go. Just let it go. There's nothing you can do about it. There will always be those dishes to wash, laundry to be done. But remember, there's only one you. Let the laundry and the dishes go for the next hour or two and give your body the rest so it deserves and needs. That's how your body heals. As much as possible. Spread out your things that need to be done with family if you can, and other friends, whenever possible. I know it's hard because a lot of us have some people in our lives that still don't understand what we're going through, or maybe even believe you. Sometimes they don't believe that you have something wrong. My grandmother was sick for years with it, and she was dubbed a hypochondriac. She died with it. Anyway, those who love you and do understand will understand and will take a rain check on activities, and they will help you. Lean on your loved ones that do understand. Anyway, I used to be a go-getter and someone who cannot truly relax till I know I have everything I need to do completed and finished. But I have to realize too is those days are over. It is so important for our bodies that when we hit these types of walls, we need to rest. It's huge that we take time off. We have to. Reschedule plans, give our bodies time to recover. Otherwise, things will only get worse if you don't. I have to plan ahead for many things. If there's something special I want to do, I'll have to rest up for it. Just try to remember, don't stress over it. This is another problem I have. That's easier said than done for me. When I'm feeling my worst is when I tend to stress the most. It's difficult. It's like a vicious circle. It's difficult too because stress is also a trigger for those with chronic illness. You may not be able to learn not to stress, but learning how to react in a stressful situation can really help. Things like prayer, yoga, do some meditation. Close your eyes and visualize the water at the beach, or something that can calm your mind. These are wonderful in helping to learn to control the stressors in our lives. Remember what you're thankful for. It could always be worse. It always helps me when I feel dragged down by my chronic illness to count my blessings. Making an effort to try to stay positive helps me more than anything, though it is hard at times. Also, try to keep a sense of humor. Laugh when all possible. Focus on all the things that you have and all that you can do instead of what you can't. Take care of yourself. Do something when you can that you enjoy. When we don't take care of ourselves, we are affected more than the average person. It's just times when we forget to take care of ourselves that we tend to overdo it once again. Do your best to eat healthy, drink more water, exercise, and sleep well. These things, I have a tendency that I do what I say, not what I do. I know a lot of these days, these things are the last thing on our minds, but for me at least, but if we make the extra effort to do these things in the beginning, that we function better overall in the end. We just get up every day, start over, and try again. Anyway, I hope this helps somebody else. And thank you for listening. Be sure to subscribe to my page, and I like to share anything new that I learn, whether it be fibromyalgia, chronic illness, or anything that I have learned in the last 59 years. Anyway, thank you again for listening. Signing off. Ciao.